What's up guys, welcome to Musescore for Dummies. Here I'm going to show you guys the basics of Musescore, the button prompts, etc. This isn't going to go too in depth, and just a disclaimer, I've never studied music theory. I don't know much about it. I know how to read music, and I've done a bit of writing it. It's not great, but I feel like I can show a beginner how to do this. So when it starts off, it's going to have a screen kind of like this. Now, this is where you create your score. You can put your title, subtitle, composer, anything you'd want. I'm not going to put that in right now. I'm just going to put, like, test piece. Alright. And now you can choose your instruments. Now, you can choose them, or you can just have a clef. So, we're going to choose some instruments. For the sake of this, I'm going to actually choose a B-flat trumpet. Yeah, there it is. And let's say a flute, and horn and F. Now I'm going to reorganize these real quick because you can use these two buttons right here to switch which one comes before what. Now that I have the instruments that I want, click next, and I can choose the key that my music is going to be in. Now let's just say I want to put it in F major or C major. I'll go with C just because it's kind of simple. Time signature, change everything here. You can even have a pickup measure, which will add a measure in between this first one that'll have a different amount of beats, so that you can have like a slightly different intro without having, I don't know, 2 beats of rest in front of it on accident. So do that. And for the sake of this, I'm not going to have a pickup measure, and you know what? Yeah, I will. And I'm going to have a 4/4 time. And you can change your measures here, but don't worry about that too much because you can actually add on measures later. So go ahead and click finish, and boom, we have our test piece set up. Now, first thing you're going to want to do, or want to know how to do, is how to add notes. Now we're going to ignore the pickup measure for now, and we're going to get a few notes that we like, maybe an arpeggio. Alright, so what you could do is whenever you have clicked on a measure, you can click F for F, G, you know, just up the scale. You can click any of the notes on your keyboard, do that. See, it's very simple. I know you can't see me pushing the notes, but it's simple. If I have to explain it more than that, then this video is not for you. And another thing you can do is say you really like this tune. Obviously, this is a simple scale, so you're probably not going to like it, but, well, you might like it. But you see what I mean. You can Control C, Control V, just like, I don't know, typing. So if I wanted to copy this, I'd have to click the next one. And yeah, that's a lot of work. But if you want to copy like 10 lines, well, that's easy. Is it shift click? Yeah, shift click. And you can go all the way over here, and then you can Control C, and then boom, you got it again. So say you messed up and you accidentally deleted a measure that you want to have in there. Control and Z, just like typing, will undo something. Alright, well, now that we have a very simple little tune, just you know, a scale repeated over and over, I'm going to show you guys how to adjust notes. Now you can come over here and you can left click, you can drag them around to where you want them to be if you want to do it fast. And then if you want to be very precise, you can actually use the up and down arrow on your keyboard. Alright, very simple. Now, if you want to play your test piece, you click on the first measure, or simply click this button right here, and you click play, or you tap your space bar. Pretty simple. And if you want to hear a metronome with it, yep. Now, say you added some instruments into your lineup and or your staffs, and you wanted to add another or even remove one. You can click edit, and you come down here and find instruments. Now you can add any instrument you want again. And let's talk about changing the length of notes. So say I want to have a different pattern, I can click here and then I can click there, and now it'll split this into an eighth note, and it'll add an eighth note rest. I can come over here and say I'd rather have a G here. So now it's going to sound like this. Alright. You can also do other things with it, like dotted. Boom. So now you've added a dot to the note, increasing its length and decreasing the length of the note after it. It'll always pull from the note after it. All you have to do is click the period on your keyboard while going over a note. Alright guys, now that we've talked about the length of notes and how to change it, we're going to move on to something else. Now you'll notice I have the clefs open now. You can drag clefs onto staff bars and change them entirely. Now, say my flute over here was way too low. My note turns red. This is an indicator that tells me that the note is unplayable in the instrument. Now if you were to click on the note, turning it blue, hold down your control button, and then tap the up arrow key, you'll notice it goes an octave higher. Now this helps you keep in the same key, or tune, pitch, whatever, while going an octave higher. Actually not pitch. You get what I mean though. So now that this note is here, this actually tells me that it's hard to play, or extremely hard. Now so I want to go up another octave. Now this is a playable note for the flute. Naturally it wouldn't look that way because, you know, flutes are in treble clef. Boom, that's what it would look like. So say you've messed up an entire measure. Oh, put a tie in there. Alright. So say you have just absolute chaos going on in here. And you just don't want to mess with it. If you highlight the entire measure, you can delete it without having to worry about individual notes or anything like that. Now, another thing you can add, key signatures. If you want to change the signature halfway into a bar, and then maybe change it back. Boom. That's all you gotta do. You messed up, boom. Go back. Fairly simple. Alright. Now, some more things you can do is you can change your time signature. You can add in bar lines that will work exactly how they do when you're reading them, naturally. They're pretty good, actually. And you can add in different bars. They do actually, I believe they work. I can't really tell there. You guys try that out for your own. My audio is a bit skewed, so it could not. Either way, you will be able to put them in there and it will tie to a certain note. Certain things do work 100% though. You've got dynamics. You can barely hear it. Now you have forte. Or let's go fortissimo. I am sorry. Alright. And then you have, you know, accidentals you can put in here, but I mean, with that you can just kind of do that if you wanted to. So it doesn't actually really affect that much. Got your dynamics. I already talked about those. Now you got your repeats and your jumps. Now these work too, and they actually work in the music too. So if I were to put one right here, see. And if you want to delete one, boom, deletes it from the entire staff. You don't have to add in for every line. It's not that bad. Now you got your tempos. Add them over here. Actually, I don't think I've ever gotten those to work. You can add them to the notes though. Yeah, that's how it works. You can push enter, I believe. Nope, maybe just you click. Yeah, you double click, that's it. Alright. You change the tempo, it actually does work, so you notice that now that I've put that on there. Go over here. Super slow. So if I want this to be twice as fast, boom, there we go. Now you can add text in for subtitles, etc. You can change the name itself by double clicking. Now breaks and spacers. These are more, I guess, form editors that edit how the page looks. I've never messed with them. Not a beginner thing. It's just not needed. So if you want to mess with those, you can figure it out. And you got beam properties. I haven't messed with these either. Nothing you need to really worry about unless you want to use them. I'm sure there's tutorials out there on the Musescore website. Now that we've talked about all that, we can talk about tying notes and slurring them, etc. When it comes to the preview, it actually doesn't play it. But in order to add it, you press S on the first note, and it'll tie it to the next note. Now, one thing that is cool, whenever they are tied together through bar lines, it does work, so, you know, at least there's that. So it's not good enough in order to let you hear the slurred notes, but at least you can hear your ties. One thing that's great about Musescore is that you can actually change the pitch to be in the concert pitch. This allows you just to not know a specific instrument and still be able to write for it. Or, you know, transpose it. That would be time consuming. Now, it is good to know, but for the sake of this video, for beginners, concert pitch is extremely helpful. Another thing I should probably talk about is rests. Now, you'll notice rests are automatic in the measures because there have to be. Now, one thing you can do actually is change a note to a rest. And, you know, I say actually like you wouldn't have expected it, but of course, if you push the 0, boom, it changes to a rest. And say you don't want these rests right here, well, you can either do one of two things. You can add them together, then maybe move it to the middle, or you can simply push the delete button. It resets the entire measure. If you ever want to mess with the settings, edit any instruments, any measures, add measures, boom. You can click on add measures, insert measures. You can insert them exactly where they are. You can add them to the end, etc. You can add in text, you can add in lines. You can mess with notes. You can even go in here, right click a staff, go to the properties of everything and change it. It is extremely in-depth and an extremely good free program you can get at musescore.org. I highly recommend it if you're into writing music and not sure where to start. And I highly recommend it even if you just like playing it or you want to learn more about it. So, yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching.